Call the meeting to order, stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Approval of agenda. Any additions or deletions?
Move to approve.
Support.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Approved minutes from regular meeting, June 25th.
Move to approve.
Support.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, approved bills, accounts payable dated July 9th, regular, $600,038.63. EFTs, $81,536.33, for a total of $681,574.96.
Move to approve.
Support.
Look them over, or?
So I understand the contract mowing is all done for the first go round? Yes.
I take that up part of my application.
They did that quick.
They always have.
They move right along.
Yes, they do.
I think that's a good thing.
They got good horns.
So is Ben Brunt pretty much hauling limestone year round these days?
Pretty much. We got him busy.
Okay.
Ready to vote? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. There should be an EFT too.
Oh, okay.
Is this,
His aren't official. Mike's aren't
Yeah, where's the official?
Mark.
I gave it to Mark.
Oh,
Mark's
Mark's
got
got
it.
them, okay.
Yeah, I got
Yeah,
the
yeah,
other one.
yeah.
I didn't see it,
Yeah.
this don't look right.
Right,
I handed it.
Yeah.
Here they're
I
coming.
swapped them out, cause I didn't know.
right, yes.
Oh, forgot to stamp.
Yep, that goes right there now.
Should I pass it to you again?
Sign
Just
twice.
trying to keep him honest.
Oh,
There's only
I-
4 on that one, I can pass that one.
I'm honest.
Oh, that one's full, I can put that one there.
Good job.
All right, payroll dated July 1st, regular, $151,181.64.
Move to approve.
Support.
Any discussion? If not, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same.
Oh, that one just goes in the center, sorry,
Yeah.
that one just goes in the center, I can't reach it.
That one needs to be signed.
Yeah.
Yep, okay.
That one needs to be signed. That one's all done.
I think this one needs your signature. Just in case they ask.
That one needs to be signed somewhere,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
and that one's gotta go in the center.
That's counting the foreman.
Somebody has to sign this. It's you.
Is that me? Yep. I don't know how it goes.
Mark, you're gonna have to watch.
Looks like only 4 of them. Try that one.
And Bob.
it.
There you go.
Now we got our paperwork all done.
For now.
Treasurer's report.
Beginning cash and investment balance is $2,774,043.12. Total receipts is $810,417.12. Total in bills and payroll is $832,756.50. CD reserve for 2 trucks is $709,954.77. Ending available fund balance is $2,041,748.97. And outstanding accounts payable, we have a credit of $509.85.
Any questions?
So I have a question. It doesn't appear like we're receiving any of the new money yet from the transportation funding. Do we have any more word on when that's gonna start to flow?
Even things that I think I just got a thing from Sherry today that's basically low. Because all the things that are happening with the cannabis stuff, we haven't seen the full brunt of what we should be seeing yet.
I know we gotta think for the treasury of like the account, what to put it in when we receive the money. Cause it's gonna be a totally different disbursement than the MTF.
Really?
Yes, it's gonna be a total,
There's 2 different, because that can come, I think, at different times of the year. It's gonna be like chunks of money, not every month.
you know,
That'll be like quarterly or semi-annual, however they decide to do it at the treasury.
Okay.
and it depends on, they have to get a certain amount of funds first before it even
They gotta have
goes
the
to the
coffers
neighborhood.
full before they can start to distribute,
Yes.
was what I was.
But even that, what they originally projected is coming in a lot lower than they originally projected. Because of some of the legal issues and
Well, and
I guess just,
some of it was supposed to come from the income tax and then the corporate tax too. So,
That's not going through the MTF, is it?
No,
No, not
I
that part.
thought, I didn't think it was.
No, but the MTF, though, we were supposed to get the increase, well, they did the tax,
Eliminated sales tax and then
Yeah.
put,
towards the
what,
fuel.
20 cents?
on the gas tax.
And I haven't seen that much of an increase at all from what it was last year.
If much at all.
And because the first 3 months were below what we received, and now I have to pull up my spreadsheet, but, yeah, we're not really getting that much extra. Compared to last
It
year.
hasn't kicked in yet, basically.
Well,
Which, I mean, we kind of figured that and we
Yeah.
yeah,
planned for that.
well, I,
If we got it, great, but
CRA kind of told us right up front that
Don't plan
don't plan on anything.
Yeah.
on spending that money yet.
when it comes, and then we'll.
If you get it, it's a gift.
That's a pretty good idea, not budgeting that in, wasn't it?
Yeah, boy.
Mm-hmm.
All righty, thank you.
Could have been a real bad decision.
Public comment? Yes.
Yeah, was wondering where Allen Township is on the time frame when they're gonna be doing,
Brian?
brine and grading and all that other heavy crap that goes with it.
Allen is gonna be
I have to look on those maps.
like the second to the last.
I know, I seen a bunch of them you already had done, I just didn't know.
Yeah, so basically half's done, and so they should be starting at Scipio, and they'll go down from Scipio, then they'll move over, and then they'll move up to you, so.
They,
It's taking them about a week and a half to do the 4 townships.
so we're probably about a month out yet then.
I'd say 2 to 3 weeks.
2 or 3 weeks, okay. There's one question, and, that problem I called you about the other day with the hole on Glasgow Road. I've been here earlier, except I had you pull out of the hole, but anyway. Still there, it's about 1/10 of a mile north of the intersection. And it's where Ranger dug across the road to bury their power lines that they run from that field to connect them with. And, so,
That's settled
citizen
out.
over that, huh?
You
Just
said
settled
that's south of 12, right?
North of 12.
North of 12.
North of 12. It's right there at that field with the last solar panels going west. It's that little, it only goes from there to Jonesville Road. And there's one house on it. That's the guy who complained because he tore a hole in his oil pan. So, wasn't real
So
happy.
it's like a quarter of a mile north of 12,
That's pretty
No, it's
cool.
about 1/10 of a mile.
10th of a mile.
It's, when you go up there, you won't have a problem finding it.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, I'm on
it's-
that today.
okay, so that one there, and then, I noticed on your, well, I can talk about that on your agenda items, the other thing, so. That way I can keep it in line with what the rules say.
Okay, thank you.
That's a first.
Oh, you want me to go off or something? I got a pep talk from one of my citizens today, who lives on, Weston Road. He goes, I got 3 directions I can go from my house, and neither one of them I can take my car down because the road's so rough.
Ooh.
And I think that intersection down there at, Cronk and Weston, I think that got worked out with that heavy rain we had.
Preferably, I think.
Wes, you got something?
Nope.
No? Okay. Manager's comment. I hate this.
That's almost as bad as public comments.
Yes.
Where do I start?
Start with the storm. How we survived.
We survived, but you just signed the payroll, so basically we had about 93 hours of overtime to help clean up that stuff. That was over 4 people, as foremen and operators. We're still out there cleaning stuff up, but it's not on overtime now. Washed out a lot of roads, so we're far enough ahead scraping the roads for the brine that we diverted the graders over to trying to clean up some of the roads, scrape up some of the roads from the storm. But there's a few that have some significant holes that we've been filling, and there's there's still more we've got to get to, so.
So that's gravel roads?
What's that?
That's gravel roads?
Yes,
we're talking about?
most all of it's gravel roads, you know, the trees are on the paved roads, but, well, they're on all the roads, but.
So did we not have the same level of rain that Quincy did? I mean, I saw that they were flooding over there. Weren't
We had a
flooding?
couple, I think Jerry called in one, we had a couple with water over the roads, but
They got.
it really came down so quick, it came down, it flooded, and then they went away. But it did wash gullies, and that's what we're addressing now.
So, right in the village of Waldron, they got 6 inches of rain in 2 days. And 4.5 of that came in 2 hours Sunday morning.
Okay, and that's when Quincy had their flooding.
Now, Mark tells me altogether, he only had about 2 inches.
It was very
So
spotty.
much more south, well, that south,
Yeah.
was the south.
But we do have a washout on Barker Road, south of Addison, on the hill.
And like I said, we've got the graders out, and even sent some of the trucks out, and just said, you know, go start hauling some gravel and filling those in, scratching them in until the graders can get there. So they're doing a good job of trying to get to all of them, but it's gonna be a while, there's a lot of roads out there that's gotta get. And it's not, I guess it's not just the gravel roads, but it shoulders on paved roads, you know. There's some roads that are paved that now look like gravel, cause all the gravel washed out.
Right.
You gotta get them straight back off, you know, but, all said and done, I think we survived pretty good, and for what it could have been. So that takes care of that one. Let's see, just a kind of an update on a previous issue is the berm on Lampier. The driveway and the ditching's all done. They redid the driveway, I guess this past week or two. It's cured and everything now, so they say that they're gonna start Monday moving the berm. And so I've talked to both the property owner and the contractor, and they're both saying the same thing, so we'll see how that goes come next week, to start moving that berm back out of the way.
So is there gonna be a ditch front, cause I've seen that they replaced it underneath the driveway. And they got a nice little hole, looks like there's some tile that comes into that hole. But it's not ditched up to the corner, so it's gonna be, it will be ditched up to
It'll
the
be
corner and
from-
then around.
Yeah, from up the
Okay.
hill, down
Okay.
around the corner and into that ditch.
Alright.
And then the rest is all done,
Okay, right, yes, okay,
so.
very good.
Both of them have been, I thought it was gonna get done sooner than this, before the graduation party that they had, cause that was a concern they had. They had they did the driveway, got it done and cured, had the graduation party, now they're gonna move all the dirt.
Okay.
So, just an update on that one.
What led them to think they could get away with that in the first place?
Well, that leads everybody to think they can do anything in the right of way that they do. I mean, we got fences, we got berms, we got buildings.
Corn.
Corn, yeah.
I would fault the landscaper excavator for saying, for when the homeowner says, oh, just pile the dirt over there. And him not saying, no, we can't do that because we're in the road right away.
Yeah.
And when they, again, whenever they smoothed out the front and got rid of the ditch, again, that person should have said, oh, no, there's a ditch here, we gotta make a,
Yeah.
and they didn't, they just, so again, is it landscaper, excavator, who was it? So,
Same
But
type,
that's just one of the right-of-way encroachment issues that we deal with all the time. I
same
mean,
type of thinking of robbing banks.
yeah.
He's waiting for
Maybe
your
not
thought.
quite as severe.
No.
All right,
Similar type.
moving on. So we got the MDOT contract for the salt this year. It's been awarded to Detroit Salt. And we're on the hook for 10,000 here, 10,000 tons here, and 1,000 tons of each of our outlying garages for 14,000 total. It came in at $69.05 a ton. So when we add our figures that Katie likes to get in there, it'll be a little more than that, but
and that's $69.05.
yes.
And is
That's
that,
Just the
That's just-
material.
that's just
That's
material,
just-
that's not hauling, that's
No.
not, yeah, I get that. So what did we pay last year?
About the same.
I think it's about the same.
It's a little less than last year.
Thank
I
you.
wanna say it
Really?
was 70 something,
Mhm.
70 and some
Okay.
change,
Okay.
so
I just remember Karen be like, oh, it's cheaper than it was last year.
not much, but.
Not much.
yes.
Every cent. No.
Absolutely, that's just,
But we're talking 14,000 tons.
exactly.
Okay, let's see. I'll go into our little normal update here. All the culverts that we've talked about for weeks are still there. Buckeye Day and Tamarack are still waiting to see if the township want to do contracts. Hartley Road, west of Pittsford, we're waiting on Eagles to get their recommendation, and then that'll require a township contract. Waldron Road, south of Hoxie, we're waiting on Eagle for their recommendation. And that structure is an existing 36 by 80 foot. Woodbridge, north of Montgomery, waiting on Eagle again for that one. They will require an Eagle permit and a township contract. The existing structure, I'm not sure if I got it right here, but a 60-inch by 35 foot. 35 is a little short for me, but so I'll check on that. Let's see, Union Road, west of 127, culvert is waiting on Eagle for their recommendation and will require an Eagle permit, because the ones that require an Eagle permit, are normally the flowing water is non-drain commission, so we're working with the drain commission on the other ones.
And township contract.
What's that?
And needs a township contract.
That structure is a 48-inch by 82 foot, and it's 18 feet deep. Moreland Road, east of Jerome, we've submitted the voluntary transportation preliminary review request with Eagle. It will require an Eagle permit and a township contract, and that structure is a 4 foot by 8 foot by 26 foot. It's looks like it's a concrete arch. The fun one, South Hillsdale, which isn't there yet, but we met with multiple contractors to see about boring, or they call it a jack and bore, to push a tube through, to try to take that water issue away from the church there on Harmon and South Hillsdale. All of them, except for one, and he's still saying that he could bore it, but all the rest of them are saying that's not a good candidate to bore. The ground on both sides is too soft and wet, and to set the machinery that has to do the pushing and the boring, you just push it away, because you don't have no firm ground to sit on. So they're all in the same, in agreement with us that at this point we're just going to open cut it and probably put a 36-inch tube in there and set it at a level that will drain that swamp by the church and send it to the east. And once that's done, we'll then have to go in to Harmon Road and figure out where to put that one and to where we can maintain that. That'll be more of like a 24-inch. It's only draining that one field. And our guys can do both of those. It's just we'll have to close down Hillsdale Road for a week or two to get that, because it's fairly deep too. We're just, and I'll get to that here in a second, we're doing Carpenter Road right now. They are hoping to have it done this week.
Last page.
Okay, they had it all cut open, they installed the tube, and now they're backfilling and finishing that up.
How did the church survive the last rain?
They got more rain, but it was basically, I only got one picture, and it still had water up next to their gym, but it was basically water coming down the road. Water didn't come across from the west side. The road and those blocks were fine. It didn't make it that high, but it did flow down the road. So the next day, I went out there with the grader and we cut a V ditch, basically across their driveway to get into that swamp, and then we debermed a small section coming down the hills on both sides to get the water to go into those before it even gets there. So that should help, if nothing else, that should help any of the rainwater from here on out stay out of the church area. It didn't flood high enough it didn't flood back into it, it was the water running down the road and then into their driveway that caused the water. So hopefully that's fixed for now, but the intent is we're gonna try to put a catch basin right there where we started the V ditch and run a tube all the way across their driveway to like catch the water, run it under the drive, and then we'll have a ditching door goes into that swampy area that will eventually get out through South Hillsdale when that tube's in. So it's a convoluted thing, so we still have to keep track of what we're doing, because I would still fully intend to send a bill to the property owner.
Sure.
Let's see. The spring pavement markings complete, other than the rumble strips. They'll complete that when they return to do the fall projects after we're done. Albright Bridge maintenance, they completed Prattville Road west of Waldron. They're moving on, they got a bunch of other structures to do, and that's part of the payables that you guys signed earlier was the cost to do this maintenance. Had a pre-construction meeting yesterday for the safety project. The project has a completion date of 14 August. We've hired Kaylee Bates to provide the construction engineering for the project. They plan to start the next couple weeks. We're just waiting on supplies to come in, and they expect the work to take a week or two.
So what is that safety project?
That is the lighted signs,
Okay.
the stop signs, and the various roads project, which is the Concord, the Jonesville, and Territorial. We got a pre-construction meeting scheduled for 2 p.m. today to meet with Gherkin. They're the contractor. They plan to start paving the week of the 20th. And it also has a completion date of the 14th of August, sorry. And that was the same for the safety project, 14th August. We're planning to hire SME to provide the construction engineering on that. For the small urban project, and the pre-construction meeting is scheduled for tomorrow at 2 p.m. We got them lined up back to back to back. Again, Gherkin is the same contractor, so we're working with the same contractor for both of those. And they plan to start paving on the 20th and have a completion date of August 15th. Same thing, we plan on hiring SME to provide the construction engineering for that. Our state crew's been out mowing on state roads, coal patching wherever they need to. I don't know if you've noticed or seen or heard, but we have started using a buffer truck behind the mowers after the incident over in Branch. Paving crews, we've completed all the projects for paving except for Burt Road. We still have 200 tons to fix the Burt Road that wasn't quite up to par last year, and so we're gonna put 200 tons on that before it gets chip sealed.
Question.
Mhm.
When we're using a buffer truck, do we use them just on the state roads or all roads?
We don't do a whole lot of mowing on, well, the swing arms do, but they're kind of off the roads, so we're not
So
using
you're
them
not using, okay,
on the county roads.
okay.
If they need to, if it's a high traffic road, yes.
So that's kind of gonna be the
Yes. I would say so.
delineation is high traffic road.
Well, and I wanna look at, cause right now, yes, that helps, that adds another vehicle, another set of lights, but it does nothing for crash protection. For buffer truck, it might help, they're the crash protection for the mower,
Right.
but, and so I wanna look at the possibility of getting some kind of, whether it's trailer mounted, truck mounted attenuator that would supply that. So a crash attenuator is a collapsible, when somebody hits it, that absorbs the impact. You have to buy one once, basically, because anytime somebody hits it, their insurance company is gonna fix it,
Yeah.
you know, or replace it. So I would think that'd be a good idea, even if we started with a trailer mounted, that way they can pull it with
Right.
a lot of different vehicles as long as it has the weight required, for it. But there's more to come on that, and I think there needs to be more
Okay.
set up for that, especially on your high traffic and state routes.
Thank you.
Let's see. Once we're done, we started seal coating Tuesday. And so right now they've completed Lake Pleasant Road, Ball to North Adams, Moore Road, 99 to South Hillsdale, and they're working on Sterling Road, Dobson to Millens today. When they're done chip sealing, they'll go back to paving, and mainly paving our primary roads, but that's when they'll try to hit the Burt paver patch first, and then finish up chip seal, and then go to our paver patching our primary roads.
When are they gonna do the fog seal?
It goes right after the chip seal. I lump that all together, because once they're done, because they gotta be done with chip seal, and then they gotta go back and fog seal before they can use the same tanker to do the tap for the paving. So one tanker kinda slows things down, and
I heard you mention Burt Road, cause that's the one we're redoing.
yes, and that's on us,
Right.
because we need to fix it. But, and so we'll heal in those couple spots that are thin and like pull the stone, and then we'll chip seal on top of it.
That's that 1 mile in Ransom Township.
Yeah,
Did they get Sterling Road,
they hit me up every time I go.
or they ground it up?
On the
I don't
curve.
think, I think it's
Is
after,
that primary?
yeah, it's us.
So that'll be on us.
That
That'll
will be after the seal cone fog seal.
So they haven't paved it yet,
No.
is what you're saying. So back to Burt Road, are we chip sealing and fog sealing, or are we paving that?
Both.
Both.
So when we're doing paver patch, not repaving?
Yeah, it's just 200 ton.
Okay.
So it's 1 or 2 small patches to heal in 2 spots. Then once that's done, they'll seal coat. And when I say chip seal, that means chip seal and fog. It's always a fog, you know.
No, we
It's
don't
just
do it
a,
once it's
it's
closed.
just a process that, once they're done chip sealing, they gotta go back and fog, then they gotta clean the tanks and go back over to the tap to do the pave. Kind of,
And is Burt
It's
Road,
a pain, but-
is Burt Road a primary road?
No.
No, but it's on us because
cause we did a project for them last year and it didn't turn out
it
good.
didn't hold
And so
well for whatever.
They're,
Okay,
yeah, they just got too thin.
okay,
Yeah.
just wanted to get up to speed on that.
Let's see. The crack seal crews are working on Reading Road east of South Hillsdale. When they get done, once they get to the Cambria Jefferson Township line, they'll move to Concord Road, that part that we did the overlay last year. They'll seal up all the cracks that are in that. And then they'll go from there, whatever they can continue to do. The tree contract.
Question, I'm thinking, Concord Road, we put a lift on Concord Road, how come we're just not chip sealing it?
Because we're gonna finish the rest of the road this year, and then
Do the
following
whole
you
thing,
can
okay.
chip seal the whole thing.
Okay, thank you.
And so to hold it, until then, we're gonna seal the cracks.
Now I understand why you're doing what you're doing, thank you.
Let's see. Chop has started our next list of trees, so you'll see them out working and trying to get everything that we can there. Our guys are still out with some of our high reach and getting the hangers and getting, emergency things, but Chop's out there hitting those trees that we don't want or can't send our guys on if they're in wires or endangering a house or something like that. We'll leave that to Chop. But they're in the middle of doing that right now. The gravel and limestone patching. County crew started the township gravel and limestone patching on 20 May. They completed patching in the following townships. So it's gonna be a bunch of them, but Somerset, Wheatland, Pittsford, Wright, Ransom, Adams, Moscow, Scipio, Fayette, Hillsdale, Cambria, and Woodbridge is almost done. They still got about 200 tons for that, and then Camden's about halfway done. So they basically made it to the last row of townships. Brine we've scraped for Brine, and not quite that many. It's Wheatland, Pittsburgh, Wright, Amboy, Ransom, Jefferson, Adams, Moscow, went back over, hit Somerset, and Scipio. Brine's been completed so that was the scraping for the brine. So it's a Scipio scraping. And so the brine has been completed in Wheatland, Jefferson, Pittsburgh, Wright, Amboy, Ransom, Adams, Moscow. They started Somerset. I'm not sure where they're at right now. And from there, they'll go to Scipio. And then we'll continue to make that happen. And then our construction crews placing the tube on Carpenter Road. Hoping to have that wrapped up next week. Let's see. Let's see, we got an email today about the Southeast District. It will be on August 3rd, and Ingham County is hosting. So we have to have the RSVPs in by July 27th. It's $20 a person, and all the same, 9:30.
So we will need to know as soon as possible if anybody's gonna be going.
That's on
Because,
August the 3rd.
yeah.
Yep.
So just
By
a
next
question, Bob. Is this gonna be at the road commission office in Mason?
Yes. 301 North Bush Street, Mason. And then the following one will be at Jackson County DOT. That'll be November 2nd. Doesn't look like there's any outstanding things. It's all like the roll call, committee reports, agency reports, and roundtable discussion. So there's nothing like specific that they're keying on for this one, just the normal updates. Let's see. Let's see, we've been working with, just an update. We've been working with and talking with Amboy Township along with the contractor for Spectrum, as far as their boards for the wireless down in that area. They've had a few issues, and I guess just to give you a quick update, I'm just gonna run through everything so you know where I feel we stand right now. So basically, they have run $35 to 45 miles-ish in the county so far. These are the only issues that we've had at all with them, and so this is all in Amboy Township, and mainly Mary Lake. And so basically, I'm not an engineer, and I'm not, totally, gonna guarantee everything, but in my opinion, the issues at Mary Lake are, and what differs it from like Diane Lake and that. Diane Lake is a pressurized sewer system. And so when that was installed, it has the locator wire on the lines. So they can locate them lines anywhere they need to. Mary Lake is a gravity feed. And so the only thing that has the lines is the main that runs down the side of the road. Anything that goes to the houses is gravity feed. It's all gravity feed, but there is no locator lines. nobody can tell you where it's at. Nobody can tell you how deep they are. We don't have any way of telling, where they're at. So far, I believe they've had like 4 or 5 issues, which over 45 miles worth of roads. I don't think is that bad. It just happens in that one area. I think solely because they had no idea where things are at. I think they have and are trying to make things right with the residents. And we're still working with them to make sure. I think, and they only have of that 45 miles, they've got about 1,000 foot left. When I talked to them on Monday, they had about 1,000 foot left to do, and then they're done. So I'll go through some of these. One, and I don't know if you want addresses or not, but on West Mary Lake Drive, one sign got run over by, I guess, one of their pieces of equipment backed into it and broke the 4x4 post around it. That individual was paid for the damages to that sign. One was on Lark Drive, which is a private road, so we have no say-so or bearing on that. And I know that probably doesn't set well with the resident or even the township, because the permit that we gave Spectrum to do all these things probably listed all that, but we have no jurisdiction over that road. So they are dealing with that homeowner to deal with the issue there. So I still say that they're doing a good job of trying to handle things. There was another one where it apparently cracked the sewer line, and they had a camera. They paid to have a camera come in and camera it. Well, when they found the leak or crack, it was 100 feet outside the right of way towards the house. So it wasn't even where they were at. Property owner was trying to say that what they did here made that crack up there. So that's a difference of opinion there. So we'll see how that one works out. We had another individual that said they hit the board lines with his lawnmower and damaged his lawnmower, and so he submitted a bill for the lawnmower and to have somebody mow his yard because his lawnmower was broke.
He couldn't see them. They're orange.
Apparently not.
They're orange. They stick up 3 feet.
He said these were down and covered with debris, and but again, I'm leaving all that to the town or to the contractor to make things right with everybody. The original one that caused a lot of the stir was actually, they did hit a lateral sewer line, and the way I was told is they understood it. They worked with the resident and the family. They moved him to I believe a hotel. They're paying to fix everything, clean everything, fix it up. The family decided they didn't like to be in the hotel. They wanted to be on the property, so the company rented an RV and put it on their property so they could stay there on their property. So I think
What more can you do?
it is inconvenient for anybody to have to deal with it. But I think with what's going on, I think they're trying their best to make them right. And then there was another one that was on Mindy Lane, which is over on Lake Diane, that between me talking with the rep for the company, that was like a new one to both of us, and so they're looking into that to see what that is and see what needs to be done there. But, so, the grand scheme of things, yes, there has been some issues. We've been working with them, and I know people are upset, but I think the company has done everything they can to make things right. I don't think they were out of bounds of what they should have been doing, or some of the complaints were they made a mess. Well, they're not done yet. They're only in the first phase of the installation. So they've done all the bores, and so all the bores have the orange tube sticking up with probably a box right there. They still have to run all the lines through the tubes and all that. They're about done with the boring and everything. But when they're all done, they'll come back and make sure everything's you know, the ground's level with the boxes and, you know, there's not ruts in the yards and stuff like that. But it's gonna be like that until they're done, cause they're not done, you know. But that's some of the complaints too. I think that the township's fielding is, I think some of the, what it looks like and stuff like that. And when they're done, they should be, and the permit tells them that it has to be in like or better condition than when they found it. So, as long as they do that.
What about the lady that owns the campground on US 12? Just, west of Allen.
What?
That campground? Can't think of the name of it.
Marble Springs.
Marble Springs campground.
Very good, thank you. And she called me when I was in the hospital and told me that they had a problem with digging and stuff around their drive, and since she called all the board members.
You can call me.
I guess I'm,
Well, I think
Isn't that my thing,
it,
is it what?
Steve?
No,
No, he's down on Mary Lake.
he's Mary Lake.
so I think this is,
I don't even know if that's Spectrum.
I haven't heard
no,
of
well,
DMCI.
so
On
is
the
DMCI working in this area?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they're
They're on 12?
Yeah, they've covered Allen. There's somebody else running some lines through there, but I don't know who that was, but everybody's internet's on DMCI, up the lines run through there.
Okay.
But
There's
there's
several
another
companies, and there's gonna be more
Yeah.
that are gonna be borrowing high-speed internet from all these grants from the government.
Yeah.
You know, so, yeah, we got Spectrum, we're gonna have Frontier, Comcast, DMCI, all of them are trying to get their stuff in. There's only so much room, we're gonna have issues with.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to me why you've got multiple companies putting fiber in the same area. That's what I don't
Why do you have
understand.
multiple trash companies running their heavy trucks?
in the same area.
But electric lines, we don't.
Do what?
Electric lines, we do not have multiple companies in the same area. I think that's kind of where we're coming from.
Well, cause electric lines, they're like divisioned off by the,
Oh, and
Regulations.
no, I understand that, and and it's nothing that we can decide or
no,
change.
it's nothing we can change.
But this fiber optic should be more run like a utility, and there's one fiber optic line, you know, and I get what you're saying, but it's not something we police.
Yeah.
And you're with
Now-
power, you've got monopolies, so you've got DT&E, you've got Consumers Energy.
You got
One option that we can explore, and that's gonna take probably some effort and help with CRA. Sometimes, depending on the road situation, you can tell them you need to go overhead. You're not boring, you're going up overhead on poles or something. That's an option if it gets, but we haven't, I don't know if anybody's got to that point where they're forced them to do that yet. But from talking with CRA, that is a per se option that we could use if need be.
So I know that on our section of Burt Road, 2 or 3 years ago, somebody came in and put fiber underground. That was the first fiber that we had had. They crossed the road, crossed a neighbor from me, and I said, so how are you gonna get this line to my house? Well, we're gonna cut your fence and go out into your field about 30 feet and then go to your house. I said, no, you're not gonna do that. You're gonna stay along the edge of the road and go up there to where the current phone line, is, and you can, cross my driveway there and go to the house. Well, okay. So as a private property owner, you do have some rights when you're dealing with these people. And so then my neighbor across the road, they were putting, this just happened last summer, different company, they were putting another fiber line, and a fair bit of that is overhead, it's hooked to the light pole. Well, they put a section of line overhead where his driveway is, where he comes off the road and goes into a field. And he he told them after they got it up there, he says, you know, you could either take it down and do something different, but if you don't take it down, I guarantee you, when I go in there with my combine, I'm gonna rip that line down. Well, after he communicated that with them, then they came back and they bored under the drive and put the line underground. So the thing that irritates me is these people, in my opinion, do a poor job at best of communicating with property owners of what they're gonna do before they start their work. And I think they could help themselves out a lot, and they could help property owners out a lot if there would be some form of communication with property owners. You know, and let's take Mary Lake and Lake Diane. In the southern part of the county, we have 4 lakes that have sewer systems on them. The rest of the county, there are no sewer systems on any of the lakes. There's no sewer systems on the lakes in Somerset Township. There's no sewer system on Lake Bel Air. All of the ones in the Reading area, there's no sewer systems over there. So when you're dealing with sewer systems on a lake, it presents additional potential problems that you don't have out in the country. And I clearly think that, you know, these companies should have somehow communicated with these people around Mary Lake and Lake Diane of what they were gonna do, and maybe some of this could have been avoided. I understand that those sewer systems on those 2 lakes were put in 40, 45 years ago. And they probably didn't do a very good job of mapping out, you know, where the lines are. But wouldn't it have been a better deal to have gone in and run their camera down the lines before they tore up things? And it's my understanding they probably spent several $1,000s on fixing the repairs that they caused.
Oh, several.
Yeah, well, it'd been a whole lot, wouldn't it have been a whole lot cheaper to run a camera down those lines before? And I know there's been a whole lot less frustration with the one family in particular. They were without the use of their bathroom facilities over Memorial Day weekend. They had extended family coming. No wonder they were upset.
I don't disagree with you on the notification. But, and when it comes to dealing with, this is just my opinion, not that I disagree with you. They're worried about, right now, they're worried about running it parallel or down the road to get down to everybody. When you're talking about, you know, cutting into your yard or going, that's when they have to deal specifically with that property owner. 1, do they want it? 2, how do they run it there? Because when they're in the right of way, they're dealing with us. It doesn't, I don't say it doesn't affect, if it does affect the resident owner, but we're the ones that permit them to go through the right of way. Once they want to tap off their main line, just like a sewer, once you tap off the main line and go to the house, that's the residents. Because once you leave that right of way, it's totally on them. And that's the same principle they're using for the fiber. Fiber, phone, electric, all those have to deal with the resident to come off the main right of way for anything.
Well, the main thing is too, is that the companies that are actually putting them in, those are subcontractors out
A
there.
lot of them are.
They've got a map. We want this done.
I
That's
say
it.
we're
That's
dealing
all
with
they got.
Spectrum.
They got a map.
Spectrum is the parent company for this, but there's other contractors that are doing the board for them.
They're all
In my
subcontractors.
experience is the subcontractors, a lot of them, they don't speak English. I'm sorry.
Some of them.
A lot of the employees, the grunts out there, they don't speak English.
That's when you pick up a shovel.
Is the sewer system at Mary Lake and Diane Lake, are they under the same authority or are they separate?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, the drain, which the position for him is for the township. He's the drainage manager.
The township hires somebody to oversee the operations of the sewer system.
But they're 2 separate systems.
Yeah.
Correct.
One's
that-
gravity and
yeah,
one's
that I understand, but
But yes, and so when they have an issue, I guess technically, they've got to contact him, anybody's got to contact him to come out and oversee or direct the repair on the sewer. Because that's his kind of like if they
responsibility.
damage the road, we wanna go out and make sure they do the road right. He does the same thing with the sewer. So,
I guess to me, it goes back to coordination, that they didn't coordinate with this guy who oversees the sewer systems. And he should know where they're at.
but that's the thing, Mary Lake, they don't.
No,
Well, yeah.
'Cause there's no locator
that-
lines.
That part I understand.
And when they
too.
put those in, who knows, and I guess they've done some kind of a coating on the line to where it's supposed to make all the lines last longer. And that's the coating that broke on, I guess, the one that's like 100 feet up. But, other than doing that, and without specifically going into each house and cameraing back and trying to locate that camera, is the only way you're gonna know where that line's at and how deep it is. And every one of them could be different.
So my understanding is on Mary Lake, the main sewer lines they can locate.
Yes,
It's the laterals to the individual homeowners that they cannot.
and those are the ones that have been hit.
Those are the ones that have been hit. So this coating they're talking about, because of course I had a phone call and I listened. This coating, is it just on the main lines or it's also on the laterals to the homes?
I don't even know if it's on the main line, it's on the I know it's on the laterals.
And so I was told that was paid by special assessment and it was done to all homes.
That's what I've been told, yes.
It's interesting.
And they're still paying the special assessment from what I've been told.
Right, and so what do they want? They want only the lines that were hit to make sure that they still have the coating,
Well, I've got one individual that had a sign hit,
you know?
wants every line cambered, just in case they hit them. I don't see the town, or the company doing that.
Right. The other concern that this individual has said to me was, well, there may be people who are not in their homes currently, and so they don't know if they have a problem. And so my suggestion to him was, and I don't know how you wanna follow up with this, is that, well, if you have a sewer district and everybody's been receiving bills, I would think whoever sends out those bills could send out a letter saying, hey, we've had some issues, you know, if you haven't been to your home, you might wanna check this out and let us know if there's a problem.
That'd be a very good idea.
So that
Which
was my
comes from the
suggestion,
township.
right, that should come from whomever sends out their sewer bills, cause everybody who has a line should have a sewer bill.
Mhm.
I don't know what they've done about that, but that was my suggestion for contacting those individuals.
To me, that'd be a good idea.
And to get them in their homes and, you know, and give them a date, you know, do it by X date so that, you know, we can.
And they're worried about, oh, they're gonna do this and they'll be gone. No, their line's there. If they wanna sell their stuff, they'll be here to deal with things, so. Spectrum itself seems to be trying to be the good neighbor, but.
So I guess their other concern is there wasn't a use of enough cones and or signs that there was gonna be construction?
We've got a couple complaints on that, we drove down there multiple times, I've gone down there, Kevin's gone down there, Jack Maxon's gone down there, I think Heather's even gone down there. And from what we saw, there was nothing out of the ordinary, there was one pit right at the corner of West Mary and Territorial, and they had cones and some tape around that. And even then, that was probably about this deep. So yes, there was a pit there, probably about, I just guesstimate about 4 foot by 6 foot, 8 foot, you know. And that's where one of their junction things was gonna be, and they had some cones there. Other than that, we didn't see anything that would have stuck out to us as a safety issue, or, you know, a hole, or.
Okay.
Now, there could have been, and they fixed it before we got down there, but.
Right.
So anyway, that was a long, drawn out explanation, but we all need to be on the same, at least the same wavelength. But what side do you agree with? I guess is
I
a
have
view
a,
of it.
so then I have a follow-up question.
Okay.
So the other two lakes that have sewer systems in the southern part of Hillsdale County, and I don't know that any fiber has been, put around